Balcone's first ever year-round bourbon was an inspiration. It all had to work together. A blend of carefully selected ingredients, Texas-sized pot stills, and creative people determined to find the absolute best way to usher a new whiskey along. When you discover how it pairs with a meaningful moment, suddenly the feeling of drinking great whiskey becomes a whole lot more.
Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Whiskey Neat, spirited conversations with interesting people. I am your host, Kristopher Hart, and this week I sit down. We get him back in-house quite a couple years ago now. Brendan Schaub mentioned that he was working on a whiskey, and we actually tried to get the whiskey in time in order to taste it and give some feedback on it, but we couldn't get it to happen in time. So this week I sit down with David Lucas, Justin Elliott, Mark Harley, Hello Mark Harley on Instagram, and Brendan Schaub, and of course my boy Shapel Lacey. I absolutely love that guy. We all sit down, we have a few drinks, we talk about the whiskey, we talk about whiskey in general, we talk about drinking. We welcome them back to Houston one more time to have a good time. So I wanted to mention our sponsors. Whiskey Neat is brought to you in part by Legent Bourbon, a first-of-its-kind super premium bourbon that melds Kentucky distilling tradition with Japanese blending excellence. Legent is a perfectly balanced yet complex and layered whiskey with a bright and unexpectedly long finish. Order a bottle in your area via drizzly.com, and as always, please, 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 drink smart. One of our other sponsors, our last sponsor for the show, is Amrut. Amrut this year, the International Wine and Spirits Competition gave Amrut Fusion a whopping 95 points. Amrut would like to thank our listeners specifically for being a part of its success, and I can't thank you enough for supporting the show. Without further ado, please welcome Brendan Schaub, Justin Elliott, Mark Harley, David Lucas, and my boy Shapel Lacey. Cheers. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're on the show. Hey, what's up?
You're coming to the show tonight.
I'm coming to the show tonight. We'll be at the late show. I always bring a whole... I felt like you were going to step up your game, and I almost wore my off-whites, and I didn't.
Which off-white?
The Vapor Max.
Oh, yeah.
Those are
fire.
nice. Yeah.
Nice shoes. Fire.
I did bring some nice shoes, though. Again, thank you. Last time we talked, your wife sent me some
I have
shoes.
more shoes for you.
Dude, you got me into it, man. Me and Shapel were talking about
Addicted.
it. It's about 50, 60 pairs in now, trying to figure out if I can get a loan to afford them. You know?
You keep selling that whiskey, you're going to have more shoes than me.
They get expensive, man.
Shoe game, bro.
They get crazy,
This is where Chappelle's at. So he went to Philly, and my boys out there, like my main guys with shoes is Suplex out there. It's like the number one sneaker store out there.
Love those dudes.
And they run Philly. They always take care of me. Chappelle sends me a picture of this shoe, and if you're a shoe head, it's like the holy grail. It's the Eminem Jordan 4s,
Jordan
right?
4s, yo.
He's like, man, I want these. I'm like, Chappelle, that's a $30,000 shoe.
Yeah.
I know, and I didn't realize that.
$30,000.
I'm like, dude, do not take out a loan and buy those shoes.
No, I jumped on the Vapor Max, and I saw, but you find yourself kind of going for nostalgia now, and I don't know what's cool and what's not cool. Like I had to text Brendan, was like, hey man, where do I get some cool jeans?
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
I was like you, man. I wore slide-on shoes. I didn't know. He was like, dude, G-Star. I'm like,
Fashion? That
G-Star,
man.
you got to look at Instagram and you got to call your boy, man. You know,
That's the fashion guy right there.
I'm the guy you
He's
need.
into fashion.
Always in the fashion, but you always got to look at Instagram. Like typically, that's where you get all
Trends.
your new trends at. Yeah, I see
Especially
him,
streetwear.
Yeah, I see him post all the time. We send posts back to back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean about new shit that we got coming out. Yeah.
My thing is, you're a whiskey pioneer. You're taking over the whiskey game. You can't be showing up looking like shit.
no.
He's all about the
Show a
regular
little pride, bud. Like, I'm not buying your whiskey. You show up in some fucking Adidas sandals.
The last time I wore some slip-on Under Armour, like dad shoes, and he roasted me straight.
Oh, yeah, what were the shoes you wore?
They were just
last
dog
time?
shit
Yeah,
Under
yeah,
Armour.
it's like,
No, he was like, dude, you got
You're a
to step the
successful
game up.
freaking
he's all in LA
whiskey
rocking
mogul,
this
man.
fucking dad shoes.
I
wish you would have worn it here.
Tracksuits, that's what you need. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Ooh, you would kill it with that.
The Eastern European
Yeah,
look.
I'm not feeling it either, man.
No?
Blonde hair, blue eyes.
Whiskey DMC, that's what I feel.
Whiskey DMC.
Whiskey
No, I'm saying
DMC.
I wish you would have worn those shoes today.
No, I'm glad he did it.
Bro,
Yeah, because this guy.
You get started, then I get started. Once the floodgates open, it's on. Bro.
He won't stop.
Yeah, you should, like, at the Airbnb, we all stay there. Like, someone will walk out, like Shapel and Justin walked out in all black. And I just go, you guys are wearing all black today, huh? And then it's on. And then it's just like,
It just starts.
What I look like?
I'm gonna change my clothes.
I said Justin looked like Fetty Wap manager.
I said they look like security for Willow Smith.
You gotta be careful with the security look, man. But I saw some South Park Tally shoes that Brandon was, and I wanted to buy those.
What?
They're Tally. They look just like Tally from South
That's
Park.
sick.
Oh.
And when
He goes, I'm so high right now.
and when it's hot outside, his eyes get red like he's high.
No.
But they're $800, and I was like,
Who does it? Nike does it? In the shoe
Adidas.
game, that's not too crazy.
It's not too crazy.
Yeah.
Adidas does them.
Adidas does a
pull it
lot
up,
of jump
Chin.
collabs. Like they did the Toy Story
Did you say
collab.
pull up chin?
Pull it up, Chin.
I'm not paying for those.
Oh hell no! Those look like some.
See,
Sperry's
You wouldn't rock
for real.
those?
So to me,
I rock those.
I
Those
love
are
South Park. So
towel.
like, are these cool? I don't know what's cool.
Yeah.
I'm asking my
Dope as
daughters.
fuck.
Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes. When it's hot outside.
I ain't with it.
I would
You're not
rock the
feeling it.
I'd rock the shit out of those.
Yeah, 150 max for me. That's
No, I'd pay
800?
I would.
Can't do it.
So my son, when he was going to Disney World, I got him the Toy Story, the Woody Adidas. I didn't realize they're like collector items. These bitches were so expensive.
Be bottom
Yeah.
anyways.
I already told him I was gonna get them because I thought he was
total
gonna.
Brennan
Is it only kid sizes?
Yeah.
No, I got me a pair, my girl a pair, and my son.
Oh, got it.
They're like collector items. This is a nightmare. But once you tell a kid something, like
Right.
he
They
won't
stuck
drop
on
it till
it.
it
Yeah.
comes.
True.
I fucked up.
When that happens, I always just tell them, oh, they're out. And then they forget about it.
Oh.
Yeah. So Brendan's a better dad than me. All right. So let's let's jump into it, man. So we wanted to get you in today to talk about your whiskey. I know you've talked about it off and on over the past. Feels like a year almost, right? Like it's
It's been a 2-year project, but got serious like a year ago. Yeah.
so. And a year ago,
And
when,
you've been a tremendous help.
that's what I was waiting for. I was waiting for
Yeah.
waiting for a little
I was
credit
waiting for
there.
that kudos.
He stuck his chin up ready for it.
Listen, I don't have the,
Goddamn
especially in
time.
this space, like I don't have the ego when it comes to whiskey and bourbon stuff like that. I don't have the ego where I'm like, oh, I got this. Like I'm gonna call someone who's been in that lane, and you have the connections, and you're successful. So my number one thing is like before it launched, they sent me the labels, and my thing's like marketing and graphics. Like that's what I'm obsessed with. And they sent it just didn't feel right, but I felt pressure because there's a team of guys. It's a whole team, So they sent to me. I was like, oh man, they just don't feel right. I couldn't sleep at night. So I text you. I'm like, dog, these labels, they just don't feel right. What do you think? You're like, dude, you need to do this, 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 this. You need to work with these guys. So I called them. I'm like, hey, I know you guys probably printed these labels. I'll cover whatever cost you paid for it, but we got to use this company to do the labels. And bro, the labels came out. They had all the labels. Sent them to you. They've already won awards.
Yep.
They've already won awards.
It won the
Damn.
exact same award. Mine did. I looked to see if I got the better award, and they were like this. I was like, God damn it.
yes.
But
Yes.
it's done well.
Competition.
It's done well. So yeah, you reached out to me, and here's the thing: like, there's some things that certain people can pull off, certain styles that people can pull off, but it's to an individual. It doesn't always work on a product.
Yep.
And so you sent them to me, and I was like, I'm not sure it would be cool as a shirt. Like
Yeah.
there were things I thought about your label originally that I thought would be cool that if you wore it.
Yep.
But not on the shelf.
Yeah, for
And
fashion, it's great, but-
And I'll give a great shout out to Kevin over at CBC Creative in Dallas, and we worked and we went back and forth. And I liked one specific label, and there was all three won an award.
Yep.
And so,
And we're using all three.
are you really?
Yep.
Yeah, make them collectible.
Yep. Doing special editions.
Shout
I
out
was
to
waiting for
Brandon.
And Kevin went. Kevin actually came to my show in Austin. Met him in person.
Great guy.
Yeah, great
You know,
guy.
he's a talent agent.
Yeah, we were talking about
He reps Vanilla Ice.
Vanilla Ice, and I was like, dude, he's still selling tickets. He's like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
he moves major tickets.
So they selling awards for vodka? I mean,
Not
whiskey
selling,
now?
giving
Like,
awards.
you
for
give awards?
designs and
For
for whiskeys,
designs,
yeah,
like,
they're
they give
actually.
awards.
Man, so
Oh,
there's a
okay.
couple different types.
Did you get the
of-
trophy?
they mailed it to me.
Yeah.
and then I put it in a frame.
Kevin, I'm waiting for mine. Let's go, dude.
Yeah. Kevin,
Give me a goddamn
make
trophy.
it happen.
Yeah.
So what?
No, I'm saying,
Justin was like, he said
I'm
they're
over
selling
there astonished.
awards.
Like, I'm like, they giving awards for alcohol.
Yeah,
I'm
so the company that gave this particular award is like the Emmys or Oscars of label design.
Damn.
So and to get what he got, which I believe was a silver award for
Yeah.
all three labels, which is crazy. which is great. And then, of course, there are spirit competitions. You can send them a bottle, and they'll give you like a double gold.
Which is what we're doing.
You got to do that. It'll automatically increase sales. And I have only helped with the packaging. I didn't help taste the liquid. I'm excited to get some. So when the moment it comes in, send it my way.
First to market American bourbon mixed with Japanese whiskey.
That's a very first, and I was a little nervous about it.
Me too.
But a great example is we've got a bottle here, Legent. This is the closest thing to it. It's bourbon, but it's blended by a Japanese whiskey maker.
So similar.
So it's a cross of the two worlds, but it is all whiskey here.
What is whiskey made out of?
Mostly corn. Yeah. So grains. So you can have. There's quinoa whiskey, but mostly corn, wheat, and rye, malted barley, that sort of thing.
Quinoa whiskey.
And most of the whiskey and bourbon come out of Kentucky.
There's actually a Kentucky company that does it out of hemp, because hemp is a grain.
Oh.
And it tastes like weed.
Oh, it does?
Yeah. I got it.
And then some of the best
tastes like
whiskeys
weed, it
in
doesn't
Japan.
I might need to partake.
Like some of the smoothest whiskeys in Japan. So that's where Thick Tiger came from. It's like I want the real smoothest of Japanese, but I still want the flavor of like Kentucky bourbon. So we mix it.
Can't wait to try it.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't you can't relapse on my shit, man.
Right. Oh, man, I'm
be a bad
drinking
look.
the Schaub.
Or it's a great look. It's so good. Chappelle relapse.
So earlier today, every Friday, I spend my mornings blending over at the distillery, and we basically are working on a few projects. I have to spit. You can't. If you swallowed half of it,
you get hammered
I
every
was shit-faced
Friday,
before
yeah.
I met up with you guys.
That was my question. Like, when you are doing these projects and winning these awards, is it like who could get drunk the fastest on the whiskey
No,
or
it's what
whatever?
it tastes like. Just make sure it's good. You know, I mean, you'll get awards on packaging and stuff, but like what we did this morning, we tasted through 17 different liquids. We're trying to I can't talk about it too much, but we're doing a Canadian rye project, and you've got to spit it out, man.
But also at the end of the day, like you can have the best label you want, but if the actual product's not good, you're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So if you decide to break your fast to taste it but spit it out, then you're still good, right?
What do you look for?
Look at him, man. Look at him.
I'm always
Look at
excited.
him.
He's always trying to get Chappelle to relapse.
Hey, no. When we
Chappelle
talk
almost
about
relapsed in Austin.
Well, oh yeah, yeah. When I got
the
snapped
crowd.
on the audience,
Yeah,
it's
it's
great.
great.
It happens. But
You
what was?
terrified me, by the way.
I remember you. I'm a nice guy.
You're so nice with it. You hear stories about you freaking out. I'm like, man, that's,
Yeah, it's in there.
Snap, crackle, and pop. That's what I call it.
That's my nickname on the street. No, I remember last time we were talking, and you said you interviewed someone that deals with alcoholics.
yeah. So
a doctor or
we
something.
had a couple doctors on that discussed.
You said there was 5 things.
12.
Or 12 things.
There's 12 red flags that you're an alcoholic, and it's based off your habits in the past 12 months. So if in the last 12 months you've tried to stop, like take a break for a week and you can't, Schaub took a month off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
so that is a good sign. That means
That's a
he's
good sign.
not an alcoholic, right?
But during that year in the pandemic, going through all the stuff with Brian
Yeah.
and Leah and the firing the kid, I was straight up alcoholic.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I just
Yeah, the
realized.
heavy
So
hand.
John Witherspoon, 2 weeks after doing my show, passed. Rest in
yeah,
peace.
yeah. R.I.P.
2 weeks after doing my show, you guys get COVID, and Brian
Got canceled.
got
yeah.
canceled.
Yeah.
So
hopefully nothing
let's hope
happens
David
this
Lucas
time.
and Justin Elliott are, you guys are,
I'm pretty healthy. Yeah.
COVID antibodies.
No, so
Two leg shots.
I can't remember. So one was like,
one's like if
can't-
you're preoccupied with it. I know you said you kind of when you took a break, you had a little bit of rough time at the
sure.
beginning.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
hey, I've been without it for 7 years.
Yeah, that's reassuring,
sign.
right? Like if you can go 7 years without it,
Yeah, you're good.
you know, and if you were to get back into it. So also, if you binge drinking is not even a red flag. Like if you binge drinking is considered if you had more than 4 drinks in a sitting. Well, that's
Okay, that's a red
I'm
flag.
gonna
for
have
me.
4 drinks, no, but it's not a red flag. That's what I'm
More.
saying.
You said more than 4 drinks.
Binge drinking is unhealthy, but it's not a sign of alcoholism.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah, you go out and you party for the night. I'm gonna have 4 at the Improv just watching you guys.
But if you party Monday through
drinks?
Sunday,
That's
and you have
the
4
problem.
drinks, yeah.
Yeah, so if
but
you
if
say-
it's one night,
yeah, if you say like
You're
hey-
talking one night.
Yeah, binge drinking is literally no. Even if you drink moderately every day, that's not even a sign of alcoholism. Yeah. What
did
is
an
a sign?
alcoholic make these rules up?
No.
I know. I'm like, who made up these?
No,
rules?
so there's 2 things to remember. There's alcoholism and there's unhealthy. It's
Yeah.
not healthy to binge drink. It's not healthy
No.
to drink every day.
Right.
But it's not necessarily a red flag. If you say, I'm going to go out for an hour, honey, I'll be right back, and you come home at 2 a.m., that's a red
You got a
flag.
problem.
Damn.
See, I was watching
so we'll knock that one
Yellowstone. I was watching Yellowstone. They always drink whiskey in that. And I like whiskey. You sent me your whiskey that dropped. So I was like, why not? Put the cowboy hat on. Watch Yellowstone
flag right there.
and just get hammered, man. It was fantastic. But I'm talking 3 seasons of that, dog, during the pandemic.
Yeah.
My girl's like, man, I think you got a problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
gotta
right.
Go see somebody.
When I first got into this, I wasn't working in the business. We had 20 bottles at the house, and my wife was like, people are going to think we're alcoholics. And now we've got about 1,200 at the house. I sent you pictures of my collection, the
That's
shelving,
insane.
and you have all these preconceived notions about alcoholism,
Yeah.
and you just assume. Right, but a lot of it is
The problem is,
you
though,
talk
like-
to doctors, they reassure you.
You talk
a
to
lot.
doctors, but if I know someone who's a bona fide alcoholic in my family, it's like when my girl's like, I think you're an alcoholic. I'm like, you ever seen a real alcoholic?
yeah.
You ever been around a real one? This ain't it.
Drinking a handle a day,
Yeah,
some stuff like
this ain't
that.
it.
That's
Yeah.
all real red flag stuff.
So
What a day?
A handle,
a handle a day.
What's
Like
a handle?
we had a
bottle.
family member this is a 750, a 175, so like a half gallon.
A day.
There are some people who drink a half gallon of vodka a day.
And still be able to function?
Oh yeah, you ever watch Intervention? It's impressive.
Yeah.
Bro, some of them get the shakes if they don't have it.
Yeah, they have to have. So when even when they go to rehab, they still give them a little something so they don't have withdrawals and
That's what
die.
meth.
I didn't get the shakes or anything like that. It wasn't like
Dude, I tried
Yeah,
quitting
but-
coffee for. I was like, oh, I'm gonna quit coffee because they said if you go off it helps and stuff. Because coffee, like I have a 6-shot espresso, it does nothing to me
Yeah.
anymore. My adrenal glands are fucked. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna go off it. I lasted 6 hours. I was shaking, sweats, curled up in a ball.
Stomach was about to shit.
Oh, dude.
hey, look at he pouring it up.
Yeah,
You know I like
all
to
this talk about
you know I like
alcoholics
to
is gonna-
smell them. I just like to smell it.
This is Legent.
You just give me a taste because I'm a lightweight.
Yeah, anything you can't finish, just dump in that big tall glass in front of you.
Oh, no.
Or give
Mark,
it to
want
us.
some? Sure. All I got left is fancy glasses here. So,
Because Mark's fancy.
Mark, say hi to the audience. Hey.
He'll be on here in a sec.
I'm about to say Mark.
I'm about to tag him in.
The
They will.
Yeah, so I talked to them just because I think there's all these misunderstandings around it. So I sat down with them. They gave me all the 12 red flags, separated, healthy, and things you should be scared of. But I think
Because
you
were
were
you
just in a
worried
dark
about
place.
it? Were you worried
I
about
was
it?
in a dark place.
I have to worry about it like you. I know who the person in your family.
Yeah.
We've talked about it. Mine was my uncle.
Oh, there you go.
And he died.
There you go.
And so I have to be careful with it. So I'll take breaks sometimes. But my job, there's people
I mean,
working in the
it's what you
industry
do.
you drink every day.
Yeah.
And you just have to be careful of it. But a lot of people fully function in the alcohol
And
industry.
I used to get down so hard on wild turkey, man.
It's
And I
one
was
of the
just,
best.
I mean,
it's still one of the best.
and not for a
pipe. How
good
many
reason.
How many glasses
Oh
a day?
man, it was just you just pour it up. Fuck
I'm
it.
glad you don't, though.
Yeah,
That'd be
I'm
annoying.
actually kinda
If you're
glad
all
I
out of
don't.
control and shit.
Yeah.
Well, you're the healthiest I've ever seen you, man. We talked about it at the coffee shop.
Tighten
You
up.
Yeah, last
you
time I was
massive.
fat. You know what I mean? Now I'm good. It's because of hella Mark.
We'll see old pictures. By old pictures, I mean like 6 weeks ago. And he'll be so thick, dude. Where it's like, damn,
Did you see what I
how
put?
does nobody
Did you
say
see the
nothing?
before picture I,
I
put
saw
up?
everything.
Oh, you saw
I saw everything. I've seen every episode of the show. I saw the shirtless photo you took.
Yeah.
And I saw Brendan calling you out. He's like, nah, you're more than this. You're like 270.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, bro,
270
come on.
You know how many people thanked me for posting that photo?
I told you.
So many people thank
I'm
you.
like, so many people are going through that.
Yeah,
You
they
did
were
it
like,
before
oh
Will
man,
Smith
that means
did.
a lot that you did
That
that.
is-
I was like, what? It means a
And
lot.
that's where what's that gut do, baby?
What that gut
That's
do,
where it come
baby?
from,
That too something to do something.
Yeah.
Has rang very well in the marriage life.
Oh gosh.
Hilarious.
Walk in it right after a hot shower.
Let me smell that one.
But the
I can smell
the
it.
gym we go to in the Valley in Woodland Hills, that zoo culture, like most people look like Mark, and they all work out without their shirts, so it's kind of motivating. And we'll see like these two jack guys. I'll look at Shapel. I'm like, bro, we just ain't there yet.
We ain't there yet. We'll be laying on the ground stretching and shit. These dudes
Dude,
are all just.
they were filming something. I was in the back. They're like, hey, Shrek, out of the fucking shot. I'm like, my bad.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides to the liquor industry is all you do is drink and sit and talk and it's like I'm 235. And
You're 235.
I'm 235. I'm very dense.
You look
And
great.
Well,
You was eating those Chick-fil-A kale salads.
bro, listen, you talked about that the next week, and you ripped me apart. You're like, this dude's trying to talk us into eating kale salad.
Oh yeah, because we were
Well,
like,
I don't have the willpower to pull up to Chick-fil-A and be like, I'll take a kale salad. Because I will stare at that fucking
said
spicy
he was
chicken
eating
like,
kale salad
go ahead
at
and toss one of the
Chick-fil-A
spicy
every
chickens in
day.
the
When
kitchen.
that's how he lost weight.
I was in a weight loss
fries.
competition last year, and
makes sense.
and if you eat it 2 days in a row, and that's all you eat, kale stays with you a while. I lost 7 pounds in 2 days.
Damn.
And but I've gained it all back. Let's
you
change
gained
the
it back.
subject. David Lucas, nice to meet you, man.
What's up, doggy? What's
Justin,
up, man?
What's up,
very nice to meet you
Hey,
guys in
what's going
person.
on? What's going on?
Been following you for a while. I'm glad you both can make it.
Yeah, it's the squad, man.
Man,
Yeah.
got lucky.
Heard you guys killed it last night.
Yeah, I think it went well.
It was good.
Yeah.
It's a good show, man, because you got Justin MCing, hosting, and you got David Lucas doing 20, you got Shapel doing 20, then I close it up with a,
Did Jay talk to you about what I talked to him about?
no, what?
I'm looking at booking shows.
What do you mean?
Oh,
I mean, like I talked to your boy Brandon Lewin over at Vulcan Gas Company.
Yeah.
Love
So we do a whiskey festival here. It's 2,000 people at one time.
oh shit.
So we could do a comedy show, 600, 800 people all
Yeah.
at once.
For sure.
Reached out to Jay. Jay's, wanted to make sure I got all my ducks in a row.
Yep.
And I reached out to Nate Bargatze, a few comedians. I think it'd be great to do just a couple, just for fun.
Oh, count me in.
And you've got the Improv. It's got 400 seated.
450.
Right.
Second biggest improv in the country.
Right. So
That's why it says improv theater on there.
currently the next step is like House of Blues, which is like 600,
Yeah.
500.
Yeah, House
Which I've also
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Yep.
So we could do 800,
Yeah.
and then after that, it's 2,700 over at the Revention Center or whatever it was before. Bill Burr does that. one.
That theater.
Yeah, it's a pretty big place.
It'd be a
but-
dope thing, though.
dude. It's a massive event venue. The green rooms are insanely huge, biggest green rooms in the city. I mean, and we
Really?
could
Dude, we do that. You bring in some big headliners. We have my boy fucking Peter shoot it.
You know how I'd like to do? I didn't want to do you first. I told I have a buddy who figured out that you could. He's a pool guy. He's like, dude, I could build pools. You want me to build your pool? I was like, I'm not going to be your first pool. Like,
Yeah.
talk to me after you figure it out.
Yeah.
And I told Jay, I was like, I don't want Brendan to be my first show.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work the kinks out first. But I thought about Andrew and Bobby, like they want to do live, bad
Friends.
bad friends. And so I'm working on it. But I figured Jay would have talked to you about it.
No.
If we do like 3 or 4 a year, it'd be
Oh,
killer,
man.
That'd be
100%.
insane.
That's my vibe, too.
And we could easily do 800 people at a time. And the way the venue is, you come in one door, you go out a back door. So you guys could do merch sales. I mean, the whole thing is just awesome. So, all right, so let's move on to something else. So I know you've got your when's it dropping?
I would say conservatively June.
June. Nationwide distribution
End of
or
June.
a few states at first?
Worldwide.
Worldwide. Okay. All right. I'm excited.
Yeah.
This all smells good.
I think I sent
Smell it.
Chappelle about to
Yeah,
relapse.
the bottle was great.
Yeah.
know.
So we did. Okay, we can do that with Amrut. Well, let's go Japanese. I haven't had a bottle of
drink-
Yamazaki in a few years.
You drink
That's
yours?
sake?
Nice whiskey.
Yamazaki. Yeah, it's a hard to find single malt from Japan that's 12 years old.
Why did you drink all that?
Bruh, it's early.
Too hard for you guys?
I'm not really a brown drinker.
Come on, man, you got this.
I mean, I drink brown, but you know,
Just-
I'm
I don't mean to
I'm
encourage you like
lightweight.
that,
you know
but-
that.
I'm
I mean, at
just
the airport, you had half a gallon of tequila.
I know, right?
Really did.
Yeah.
Pulled up with a whole bottle
And a
of
Diet
Someone
Coke,
like,
and a
damn, man,
Diet
you
Coke.
having vodka this early? He's like, come on, man. You know I don't drink vodka this early. It's tequila.
He said, your nose is messed up, dog. It's tequila.
Bro, I got anxiety, bro. Y'all want me to flip that plane over? You better let me drink my drink, bro. I had an edible in the drink, bro.
Wait, do they even serve alcohol on the planes anymore?
No, he had the
First class and comfort only.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've had wine in first class, yeah.
Yeah, they still do it. Every time I get on a plane, I order something.
Unless you fly Spirit.
So I,
And I was like,
hold
I
on.
need some water. Like, bitch, you lucky you get a seatbelt.
Whiskey, I got a question. So are they starting to treat whiskey tasting like kind of like the way they treat like wine tasting?
Yeah. So it's
That's what
super.
I-
There's a
kinda
lot of
been
high end
that way,
stuff.
though, right?
Yeah. Like this bottle
yeah.
is hard to find. I think last time I saw it was like $200. Usually you could buy it for $100.
Yeah.
And the black market, like it is with shoes, same thing with whiskey. We had a bottle of 18-year-old marriage cast from E.H. Taylor. The bottle was $75. It's trading for $2,000.
That's nice.
$2,000.
$2,000, and people are paying for it without blinking an eye, especially with those stimulus checks.
Those
stimmies.
Shout out.
During quarantine,
Shout out.
They've really helped Justin during this pandemic.
I don't want to knock
kids.
nobody about to say that. Oh, yeah.
I got
you
4
really
kids. That
came
stimmy
up.
was very.
Oh, I know you came up. Especially
I
with
didn't
that
even
new
need it.
tax break. Oh, yeah.
You know how many lottery tickets you get?
Oh, yeah. Especially with that new tax break.
I want 6, bro.
Hey, hello, Mark.
I want 6.
Come get in
kids
this.
and 4 baby mamas.
Come tag in.
You have 2 baby moms now, 2 kids.
Yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
I want
You trying to mix it up?
I want a Hispanic baby mama, and I want to.
Because what were they now? Two. One's Jamaican.
One's Jamaican and one's Black and Native American.
Okay, Jamaica.
Okay, so you need an Asian, you need a Mexican.
That's it.
And let's go ahead and throw in a white girl. man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably get a white girl pregnant when I get like 45.
Yeah. That's just dope, man.
You get that headlining money. You're like, all right,
yeah.
couple of white baby.
That's on
mamas.
his to-do list.
There's
We'll be headlining about fucking, I don't know, 6 months probably.
I mean, I got a few headliner gigs.
Yeah,
man.
I'm saying like
Oh, yeah.
nation. Like,
full time.
Another year. I give it another year. It's a lot. It's a lot of work. People don't understand that to headline, bro. And I don't want to do anything prematurely. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got a solid 30 right now. Like, you know what I mean? Once
You'll
I
see it. You'll see it tonight.
I cannot
All of
wait.
them are monsters.
Every time the first.
Chappelle's head. Nothing makes me happier when Chappelle tells me he's like, I can't go with this weekend, man. I'm headlining in Philly. I'm like, God damn, all right.
Oh yeah, I was really happy. I talked to Brandon Lewin about your weekend, and then of course I heard you talking about it on the show. So, I couldn't be happier. And was it 2 years ago when you first came on? Derek and was it Hassan? Yeah, they killed it.
Yep.
I mean, you've got a history of getting killers on the road.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
that's
then
the way
they usually
to go.
move on and headline. That's the way this is supposed to work.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Unless you're
That's
bad
how
at
really how
comedy.
it's supposed to get, yeah.
That's what headliners, see potential in people and bring them and, culture them a little bit by taking them on the road.
That's
getting
how I got
different-
put on. Think about it. That's how what Rogan and Brian did for me and Theo. So it's just giving back, man.
Mark, welcome to the show, buddy. You just kind of came on.
Yes.
You gonna do stand up soon, or just get on stage and take your clothes off?
No, what Mark needs to do, and I've been talking about this, he needs to do his own podcast because he gets so many DMs on like lifting questions and bro science and shit. I'm like, dude, you need to have a podcast. Quit answering DMs.
Yeah.
Do a podcast.
I would love, that'd be great. And Brennan generously offered to help me get that started.
Produce that thing.
And I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Because right now it's like, if you DM me, sure, I have a minute to like answer your question. And a lot of people are very grateful for the fact that like you're responding to them with like, usually it's just basic stuff. Like, let me point you in this direction, even though people might come to you like, train me. It's like, I don't think you need me to train you, but maybe you need to, look at what you're doing in
Mark
the gym.
helped me with my workout this past week.
There we go.
He would
And
crush
so
it on there, man.
What's
Yeah.
the biggest, the thing that you're tired of seeing the most, a misconception that's out there the most?
I would say the biggest thing that I like personally pisses me off in the world of Instagram fitness is these functional fitness pages that kind of sell you this idea that fitness is achieved through like novelty, like, you got to do the one leg thing on the Bosu ball and you're bouncing while pressing and making it overly complicated, in other words, because people do that for the sake of their content. They're like, here's the new thing, and the new thing, Instagram
fad.
obviously
Yeah.
feeds
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
It's harder
It's
to sell
meat and
the base.
potatoes.
Right. It's like, you can't sell
Like
the
with
meat and
Mark, we're
potatoes.
doing like deadlifts, bench,
Yeah.
dumbbells.
Do that as much as you can. It sucks because guess what? Deadlifts are fucking hard.
Yeah.
Running, all the basics are hard, but my idea is you get in, you do them as frequently as possible. You make a habit out of it. You don't have to start with 100 sets in a workout or whatever. I'd rather have you do 10 and 10 sets, make it a habit, spend an hour in there, keep doing it, and don't look to be like ripped by summer if you're 30% body fat right now. Make it a year. Say, give yourself a year and make that slow, steady progress and make it like it's breathing now, where I just get up and I do this. I don't think about it because so many people over the pandemic would hit me up like, hey, I really want to work out, but I don't have an hour. And I'm like, an hour? Like, what about one set of push-ups? What about a walk outside? Because right now you're not doing anything,
What about something?
Exactly. And that if you commit to saying, I'm going to do something every day, even if it's just literally 60 seconds, like, do high knees for 60 seconds. Your heart rate's going to get up and you're going to sweat. And if you do that, you might want to do more.
Well, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I was talking to Shapel about this, but you've helped for a very long time on the podcast, you guys have talked about these things, but you've helped motivate them. You never what?
No, I'm just we talked about it, but we never did it.
Right, but you've helped motivate them and hold them accountable.
Right. And that's just
and you guys look great. I mean, both y'all look amazing, right? I saw
My
you.
shirt's too small, but thank you.
But the thing is, like,
My jacket.
Brandon,
You know what? First of all,
My wife has the same jacket.
Brandon and Shapel are great workout partners because we're all committed to showing up. And that's kind of the big thing is like, can you show up at 8 a.m.?
8 a.m.
Well, a lot of people don't. If you can get your ass through the door or out the door if you're working out outside, I think that's like so much of the battle because even if you show up and did a moderate workout, you know, half the time, if the other half you push hard or whatever, you're already, you know, really going to see results from that. So I do think it's just about committing to the routine, not being scared, not making it a bigger thing like, oh, I have to work out for an hour. And then it's not about punishment.
Just get
you know what I
moving.
mean?
But also, it's like, you know, when we show up at 8 a.m. at Zoo Culture, like, you can't help but be motivated. Everybody's is in shape.
And it's
They're
a
all
great
Instagram influencers.
Yeah.
They have their camera guys. Everybody's in great. Me and Chappelle have fast guys in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ugliest. Yeah, by far. We're the ugliest
People are
guys in the
friendly.
room.
What's cool about Zoo is people like you go to 24 Hour Fitness, and I'm not knocking these other places.
No, you can. That place is trash.
It's
Shout
like,
out. Always smell
we're
like
still,
vomit.
you know,
That's
the
the only
mask
thing I don't
mandate is still in place. You
Plant
like,
Fitness, 24-hour fitness is fucking
shout out
disgusting.
Crunch.
Also disgusting.
When was the last time you like made a friendship at a 24-hour fit? Like, I'll be friends with the people at the front desk because I see them and they talk to me and stuff like that. But the vibe is just different. Not that I expect anything, but when you go to Zoo, like you see the same people. Then all of a sudden you're friends, you're motivating each other. What you hitting today?
There's
like,
no steam room. Nobody's getting sucked off in the steam room. I don't know if I can say it on radio, but
exactly. Yeah, but it's all business. People come in there and they're there to work out.
They're work,
you know?
man. Yeah,
Sure.
work.
Well,
and
beautiful
so-
people want to be friends with beautiful people too. That's how I see it.
Well, whenever me and Chappelle show up without Mark, these big buff black dudes be like, man, where's your beautiful ass friend at, man? Yeah, every time. I'm like, you're not coming today, man. We're here. Like, all right, move on, man.
But it's just a really positive environment. So I love working out there, and you kind of see why people like it's in Woodland Hills, but people will come from all over LA just to go to Zoo Culture.
Sure.
You know, and they've stayed open the whole time during the pandemic, which is, you
That's
know.
Bradley Martin.
Do
Yeah,
people?
nuts
It's
on the
been so
table.
long since I've been in a gym. Do people? I know Justin likes to shoot his shot a lot, right? Is that a good place for meeting people?
I don't hit on girls when they're working out or anything like. I mean, I just always kind of consider that like a, you know. But
Why'd you lick
like,
your lips when you said that right now?
shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you just. I said I don't.
He
hit on 'em.
basically, I fuck him.
I didn't say I don't follow him on Instagram, you know.
Sure.
I would say that I just think it's kind of taboo because if you're going up to that girl who's a fit chick, like, and she's in the middle of her workout, like
It's her work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from her
yeah.
perspective, she can be like, why the fuck am I
Disrespectful.
being? Yeah, and like, you know, girls who are fit chicks have these hangups about like guys who know less than them coming up to them or trying to spot them on a squat or a bench.
Oh,
and it's like, I don't
condescending.
fucking need you. Don't
There's
condescend.
girls
to me.
that there's some big ass girls at Zoo who work out harder than us, man.
Yeah,
they're in
they're
shape.
getting.
I would
work
never
doing like
give them-
500-pound hip
Yeah.
thrusts and all that shit.
deadlifting.
So-
Like Lexi be deadlifting like fucking 300 pounds.
Yeah,
and shit.
exactly. They're there to work, and they know what they're doing. Like, you know, Lexi, like she knows programming better than I do. You know, like I'm not going to presume I know anything more than anybody else there.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like real pros in there. Yeah.
But I also think you just meet people. I've made a bunch of friends there just because you see them all the time. But as far as like actually like going up to somebody and interrupting their workout to ask them for a date, if you mean
Yeah, like
being on-
the owner of the gym, Bradley's like straight up friend now.
Yeah.
Me and him talk
Is he in
all
good
the time.
shape?
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
shape.
It's got to be, right?
yeah, he's super
Jacked.
strong.
He's like probably the biggest influencer on YouTube as far as fitness goes.
Yeah, and he'll like. I mean, I
10
haven't
million
seen it, but we were like doing 315. He has jumped on cold and did it like 14 times, just like boom, boom, boom. So.
But we can
He's-
do that now. So what's up, Bradley?
What's up, dude?
You got us
Yeah, where
first
you
week in
at?
the gym,
You know?
dog.
you-
He's got a
Houston
really. I've
five?
seen him deadlift like I think like, you know, high 600 pounds. He can
Bradley?
squat a shit ton. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's a
just
beast.
overall extremely strong.
He's a guy who stayed, you know, because LA is North Korea, so they shut everything down, and he decided to stay open during the pandemic.
Yeah.
He refused to, so he's in a legal battle with the city right now. They would shut off the power, the lights, the air conditioning. He just stayed open because you got hardcore people that live there. And then this is how I got started is Shapel texted me and was like, Doug, you know there's a gym by your house that's open? I was like, no. He was like, yeah, look at it. These people have hit me up. So it's right near you. Literally a mile from my house. I've never heard of it.
Sure.
But Segura's been there. A bunch of people have been there. I walked in and was like, love at first sight.
You guys are open now, though, huh?
June 15th, everything opens. We're definitely
Without a
open.
mask.
But it's still
Don't let the
mask
news
is
scare you.
24
The news
hours.
scares you. Yeah, mask. We still have the mask mandate, but that leaves June 15th.
Yeah.
Yeah, we in order to travel for spirit hunting, I had to get my vaccines, and that second one,
Kick your
dude.
ass.
Well, I mean, I had no symptoms the first one. The second one, I thought I was having a stroke. I did an episode of my show. I couldn't get my sentences right. I felt kind of
Start talking Chinese.
no, just cognitively, just cognitively not quite there. You know, I just felt like out of place. But
Did you have symptoms?
no, I mean, other than just being.
Did you get COVID or no?
No, I never had it. Yeah, and I'm surprised because when you guys tested positive, it was right after doing my
Yeah,
show.
we're all up in here.
I was like, I hope I didn't get it.
I know.
And I got tested a bunch.
I got lucky. COVID wasn't bad for me at all, and then the vaccination wasn't bad at all.
Oh, you got it too?
Yeah.
Which one?
Moderna.
Okay. Yeah, I got the Pfizer. Speaking of speaking Chinese, I actually have a couple of Japanese export bottles from the 80s.
So a buddy of mine gave me a really high-end Japanese whiskey, a few months ago that a really wealthy guy getting, I think he said the bottle was like $1,500 or something. And I just remember being like, this is the smoothest
Do you
drink
remember
I've
the
ever
name?
had.
Yeah.
No, I wish I did.
To me, Japanese has the smoothest, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm a little
Biased.
a little biased, I think.
You're an American.
I'm not a big fan of Japanese whiskey overall.
Oh wow.
Is it hot? Yeah, so it's 101 proof.
Yeah, that's
This is called Kentucky. Oh yeah, Kentucky.
you want this?
Just to give your girl a mustache, man.
Bro, about to give me one.
Just give your girl a mustache.
Joke.
Yes, so those run about $200 or $300. They're old 1980s bottles of virgin bourbon.
Oh my God.
They're all 101 proof, so they're gonna put a little hair on your chest.
Yeah, you can.
Bro, you sent me one that was 140 proof.
Tastes like gunpowder.
My girl had hair on her tits.
Before or after?
This was
See, Wild Turkey, that's 101, yeah.
Yeah, it's 101 proof. Yeah, that was your thing, right?
My thing.
So
That's high proof.
I'll tell you what the trick is. You gotta let your mouth adjust. So keep it in the front of your mouth and just don't swallow immediately. You swallow immediately, it's gonna taste disgusting.
Yeah, it's alarming.
Hey, I know how you said you're not a big brown water drinker, but if you leave it there, your mouth's gonna start.
Your mouth adjusts.
Your mouth's gonna adjust.
It's gonna be so
And
fire.
take smaller and smaller sips, and literally, I take the small sip, and then once my mouth gets used to the alcohol, then you swallow, and there's no burn.
So that's what you do.
That works well.
Yeah, they do it in wine a lot,
Yeah,
right?
bro,
Like
that's-
aerates it.
That's just as strong as mouthwash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's mouthwash quality.
But you get used to it. I mean, you started with an ice cube. I think when I first met
Yeah.
you were doing
I
Jack
always
and
go
Ice.
rocks, yeah.
And now I mean, you sent me pictures of you drinking neat, and
Oh, yeah.
you still haven't quite got to that high proof octane stuff, that Jack Daniels barrel proof you had.
I still fuck with it.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
still fuck with it. Yeah, when I took the family to Montana and they had all sorts of whiskeys out there, and man, I was getting hammered.
Dude, we had some Canadian whiskey come in that was 85% alcohol. It's 160 proof. You can't have an open flame within like 10 feet of it.
They're intense. But
Yeah,
they're
it's like
dope, dude.
gasoline,
There's so
yeah.
many cool whiskeys, man.
Oh, dude, there's a ton out there.
Oh, I told you I went to.
Oh, Kentucky. You went to, where'd you go?
We went to Buffalo Trace, but what I didn't know.
I heard they gave you no love.
Well, like the
Wait in line, sir. It's a 4-hour wait.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
She was like, the gift shop's right here if you want to sit there. I'm like, I ain't fucking sitting here.
He said, do
They
you know
even
who I
had a
am?
shout out. He had 3 people shout him out and was just like, yeah, you're not going to skip me though.
I was taking pictures of people in line. I was hoping they're like, why don't you come up here? We're like, all right, man. Answer the big.
Everything that they make currently has a secondary value, like shoes. So it's the exact same thing. People will line up at 5 a.m., 3 a.m., and they'll sit there for 10 hours waiting for the shop to open, buy it, immediately post it online, and make a few $100.
I asked her, I'm like, it's always like this? She's like, typically,
It's
yeah.
gotten crazy. 2 years ago, Santino went by. They set up a whole thing for him, and now you got to be Rogan.
Dude, yeah, I even, we didn't even think about it. I didn't think it would be bad. So I text Rogan. I'm like, yo, I'm at Buffalo Trace. He's like, oh, tell him what's up for me. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to see those people. Like, the line's out the door, man.
No, it's ridiculous, man. And there's great whiskey out there. I mean, I sent you a couple bottles of ours. That did well. We sold that out in a couple days.
Yeah, yours is great.
And we've got more coming. We've got some rye. We've got all kinds of things coming.
Is that Whistle Pig?
Yep, that's an 18-year-old Whistle Pig. They sent that to me for DB Woodside.
I know the guy over there at Whistle Pig.
Oh, yeah?
So Whistle
Who?
Pig,
Doug?
Doug, yeah.
His name?
Yeah,
Doug,
well,
He be going to Austin.
Yeah, so did you meet him at Vulcan with me?
yeah.
So he sent me like, fuck, man, probably $1,000 bottle
Yeah.
of Whistle Pig.
That Boss Hog with the pewter top.
Yeah. He's like,
Crazy
let's work
money.
together. I'm like, I'd love to, man, but I got my own shit.
Yeah, that's a $400 bottle, and that Boss Hog.
Yeah, that's the exact one I have. Yeah.
The Boss Hog has like a metal topper on.
Yes,
top.
has like a gold metal top. Yeah.
Crazy money, but it's great whiskey.
Really good.
Yeah, and they've got everything from like a $40 whiskey to a $1,000 whiskey.
Yeah, they're
So
great.
you really just pay for the aesthetic, like the bottle? pretty much?
no.
So usually you pay for, and this is the thing. Like when we had Brian on last time, we tasted some ginger brandy from 1915,
It was
1917.
fantastic.
And he doubted me.
Yeah, he did.
He went back to the show. He's like, that shit's not 100 years old. Yeah, it was. It was literally. So spirits don't age in the bottle. There's some slow changes that happen, but it doesn't mature in the bottle. And with whiskey, you can literally keep it sealed, and as long as it's not in direct sunlight or heat, you can have it for 100 plus years. Wow. And so I had a point.
You gave me that whiskey from like the Civil War.
Oh, that's what I said.
Bro, it was like 200 years old. It tasted like fucking
Bigfoot's dick.
custard pissed down my mouth. Dog, it was like custard gave me a fucking golden shower, man. It was so intense, dude.
Some stuff you pay for rarity, age. There's some people you pay for packaging and aesthetics a little bit, but I mean that's
It was dope, though.
That's 18 years old, so of course it's going to be up there in terms of price.
Yeah.
400,
Civil War liquor.
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah, Civil War, yeah.
I'll pass.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'll pass. So
I don't want nothing from the time when black.
No,
I get.
you opened the bottle and yelled out racist stuff. Yeah,
You just hear the N word.
I was like,
What is this?
I was like, well, this is definitely from the 1800s. And open that bottle.
up the bottle,
we
Leonardo
can't.
DiCaprio
This
come
bottle
out.
get canceled 2021. Yeah.
I gave that bottle to Chin, and Brendan's like, you can taste the racism. It's really.
Yeah, I tasted. I was like, man, I can taste the racism. In this motherfucker.
So you should taste this. This is 18 years old. It's about $370, $400 a bottle, and not nearly as hot. So you're not gonna.
I wasn't legal when this liquor came out.
How old are you?
30.
Oh, are you?
Can never tell somebody's age. How old are you, Mark? Are you either 72 or 22? It's the gray. You got gray hair, but then your face you don't have wrinkles.
People used to come up to me and be like, "Man, what's your secret? What do you do?" And I'd start going, I'm like, "Well, I work out every day." I'm like, "Oh, you think I'm 55?"
Yes.
That's why you're asking me. You don't think I'm.
It's tough to
It's
tell.
gray blonde, right? What is that? A gray blonde? What's
My
the?
natural hair color is more like Brendan's actually, but it's so gray now that it looks like that, But this is like the remnants of it being dyed.
But if you don't dye it, it's all silver.
It's mostly silver, yeah.
So
it slowly
let me
changed over the
guess.
years. Yeah. What?
42.
No, I'm 37.
37.
Yeah.
It's the gray hair.
Wow. The
but
gray hair
it's
messes with you.
genuinely premature gray hair. Yeah.
That's the best one I've tasted.
Yeah. It's a good
Whistle
whiskey.
Pig?
Yeah, the 18-year-old
yeah,
Whistle
that's
Pig is
cool.
That's the
fantastic.
best one.
Justin, how old are you?
I'm 31.
31?
You can't tell, huh?
No.
Yeah,
I
man.
Black
honestly
guys, you
don't
can't
know.
tell either. Black
people-
guys are like Asians, man.
Most people think I'm 20. Most people think I'm 26.
Is it you're either 100 or you're fucking 22?
Yeah, man. I got carded yesterday. Yeah.
You did? Trying to buy liquor?
Yeah. Like the other day, low key.
The Shapel is 19 years old.
Me and Shapel are the same age. 87, right?
Yeah, how'd you know that?
Because we talked about it last time. We met before.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We met before.
I'm about to say,
That's right, man. Who's the youngest in the room? Brandon?
No. He's the oldest in the room.
How old are you?
How old are you?
You're 40?
You 40?
God,
He's 40.
dog, you look better
I'm
than
about
me.
to say, white don't crack.
Look how great he looks.
45.
Fuck.
You're not 45.
Holy fuck. That's Asians, dude. And then you turn 60 and you're fucking.
And you look.
You're Schmiegel.
Yeah.
Can I still do my joke? I say Asians age like bananas.
I bet you could
One
say
day
that.
they look good, then the next.
I got those spots.
That might work.
You think so?
Yeah, avocados.
I hope that's not Asian hate.
It's tough these days.
Exactly. I would tread like
And your boys are Tony. Let's lay back on that joke. Let's lay back on that joke for a little bit.
I was about to ask I don't think you guys covered it on the show yet. Did y'all discuss the current events? Tony
Me
thing?
and Theo did, but it's comedy, man. So it's like that his bit that he did, and then I'll let David speak on it because he's closer to the situation. But it's like comedy's not meant to be recorded on cell phones and put out to the world.
Sure.
That was for-
fast forwarded.
No, that was, and it was edited. And when you find out how bad of a dude that guy is that did all this shit, which I didn't know, I found out from people close to the situation. It's like, oh my god, this guy's just clout chasing, man.
Yeah, he's clout.
He'll never work in comedy again.
He ruined himself, bro. That's the crazy part about it.
Canceled himself.
Yeah, and the thing about it is he scrubbed his YouTube of all his
That's nice.
sets going in on white people, and also him dropping the N-bomb.
He calls crackers?
I don't know exactly what, but he was going in on white people.
That's where I draw the line.
And
That is a solid joke.
And then he dropped that video. You know what I'm saying? So like he knew what he was
It's just
doing.
shady work.
Well, I took it, and we get this a lot. I wear plaid a lot, and every time I go to a comedy show here in Texas, if I'm within the first few rows, I get ripped apart, looking
For
like
wearing plaid?
Well, just like I look like a racist white, hipster, depending on who's up on stage.
Yeah, you look like you like werewolf movies.
He looks like an accountant for the Proud Boys.
I guess I walked into that.
right.
So the I took it as initially as Tony like playing into the Texas audience, right? Like I mean, whether or not you're okay with it or you were a little off put by it, I get it. But I felt like he was like, "Hey, you guys are all from Texas, right? Fuck this guy."
But what you didn't see, and Ari Shaffir posted this, is his set before that.
Right.
So the soy sauce reference, the Chinese
Gunpowder.
references, all that. That's based off that dude's set. So it's insane, man.
The worst article I saw is an article that said Tony brought racism to Texas.
Oh wow!
It just wasn't there before
I swear
that.
to God.
It just wasn't there.
I said, what?
My thing is, like, how far are we gonna let this go, man? I think you gotta fight back. I'm like, hey, this ain't it, man.
No.
Like, there's bad people and cancel culture. If he gets rid of the bad people, I'm all for it. But you gotta draw the line somewhere. And comics gotta push back.
Yeah.
Because you can't allow it in comedy.
No, you can't. I 100% agree with you. I mean, I've been in. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a comedy show where, regardless of who's up on stage, they're going to be making fun of either their own race or someone else's race. It happens all the time, and it's clearly meant as a joke. It can be rough to watch if it's only cut that way, and it was.
But it's not made. It was tough to watch, but it's not made for the masses. Like
Right.
that's for Tony's audience and that particular night.
It's like, bro,
it's not made to be mainstream.
Context is
You're
important.
Vulcan is an intimate crowd anyway.
Me and Tony on his show have said stuff to each other that's way worse than what he said that night.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bruh, like, and a lot of people ask me, because, that's my boy, like, how would you feel if he would have called you black or big black motherfucker or the N-word? And I'm like, we would have handled it off stage. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if it was in context, I probably would have laughed.
Right.
If I just went on stage and been like, N-word, 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 and then he's like, give it up for this N-word, I probably would have laughed my ass off.
Sure. I think the radio allows you can say it if you want. No, I'm just kidding. he started saying
He was just about to let it fly.
He goes,
I was about to let it fly.
No,
He's like, you're in Texas. She'll let you know the N-word's safe in here. What? He's like, Brendan, you're good to say it too.
You're safe with me.
I don't want to say it, man.
it's one of the things that, like, it happens across the board with all of every canceling. Everything I'm seeing is like a boomerang effect. I remember, and you talked about this recently, and I love that you talked about it on air. You talked about how all of these comedians gave you shit for doing the road during the pandemic.
Yep.
And within a few months, when we're still in lockdown, these comedians post tour dates.
You don't hear him now.
And you don't hear him now. There's no apology.
Nothing.
It's like, no, I ripped you on a podcast that gets millions of views.
Correct.
And then no apology. No, we're still friends. Like, nah, you're a piece of shit. Like, it happens across the board.
That's what they do. But also that cancel culture, like they're eating their own tail. So like Chrissy Teigen was the face of cancel culture. Look what's happened to her now. It comes out, because when the right starts digging shit up, well, it came out that when that girl, she was 16, she married an older man. Chrissy Teigen was DMing her like, kill yourself now. Fuck you. Why don't you kill yourself? Why don't you go to sleep forever? Like bullying this 16-year-old girl. Well, they brought up those tweets. So now her whole she had like a whole cooking line got pulled from Target, Macy's, Bloomingdale's. Like that's and I'm sure more stuff's going to come out. That's why you don't hear on social media now, because you just don't do that to one girl. There's going to be other people out there.
Oh, yeah.
But she was the face of it, like telling, let's cancel this person. This is ridiculous. Like, you're eating your own tail, man.
Yeah, I just don't think it's sustainable, right?
It's not.
It's not sustainable,
It's not.
and eventually it's going to fall in on itself.
It's already
already
happened.
Also, because the principle is, if you're canceling someone, they're beyond redemption. So that means if you fuck up, then you're beyond redemption too, right? You
Right.
can't. And my girl was obsessed about it with the Amber Heard set. She's like, "Oh my God, Johnny Depp's a piece of shit." I'm like,
Nope.
I don't know, mate. It isn't really. And then it took years for it to all come out, but I became into it because she was into it, and I'm like, oh, Amber. She doesn't have any good reviews.
No.
Everybody who works with her or who knows her
Horrible
for
stories.
help, a
Caught her
personal
on
assistant,
camera saying she was going to lie to the public.
She's got
and say
mental
she got
He also
issues,
married
yeah.
fucking Jack Sparrow. He wears eyeliner and got a. I mean, come on. He thinks he lives on a goddamn ship. You knew what you're signing up for.
Right.
Yeah.
It probably saves her money. They could share bracelets. This is our honey barrel. I wanted you guys to taste it before you left. We put barrel-aged honey, threw some whiskey in, and literally one of like 200 bottles. So if you like sweet stuff, if you like, I think this will hit home, but you're going to need a small pour.
Because so sweet.
So sweet and high proof.
Hey, y'all crazy.
Yeah, you weren't lying about small pour. Goddamn whiskey, Pete. That's good, dude. Thanks.
Yeah, it smell like honey.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that thing is nice.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, damn, that's
Yeah,
nice.
it tastes like Southern cough syrup.
Yeah.
That'll sneak up on you like a few glasses of that.
Did I pour you some more?
What's the proof on this?
That's a good question. I want to say 61%, so 122 proof.
That'll get you through COVID right there.
Actually, it's over the sanitizing limit, so this will kill any COVID in your throat. Yeah.
Yeah. Rub it on your hands.
I mean, that's what I did when I had COVID. Drink liquor.
No.
And you're a tequila guy?
Yeah, drink
That's it?
liquor and smoke cigarettes.
you smoke cigarettes?
When I'm
What are you
drunk.
from the '90s?
When I'm drinking. when I'm drinking, I crave a cigarette.
Really? You smoke straight up cigarettes like a Marlboro?
Like last night, I was drinking.
What brand?
I smoke like whatever's around.
Whatever cigarettes around?
I don't go buy.
You
Cigarettes.
smoke weed too, or just
I don't
CBD?
smoke just CBD. I don't smoke. I don't know.
Damn, cigarettes.
Like, a cigarette.
Says the guy who just put in a nicotine pouch before he started the
A
show.
cigarette when you're drinking only. Like I can't just wake up in the morning and smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, I hope not.
No,
Yeah.
it's one of them like when I'm drinking. Social.
You mentioned edibles earlier, right?
Yeah.
You prefer edibles over weed?
Yeah, you want one?
Definitely.
No. Well,
So you want a nicotine pouch?
actually,
Out to Rogue.
I've never tried them. I'll take one for the road to try. Will you just leave it in your lip?
Yeah, man. You just take. I mean, come on. It's harmless.
But yeah, liquor. and
No
cigarettes,
tobacco free, Doug. They're delicious.
I like edibles. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You can't control them, man. You never know what's in them. It's the Wild West.
It is the Wild West
Wild
with
West.
with the amount in them.
You got kids and shit, and you wake up next morning.
You wake up bug-eyed.
You wake up, yeah.
That's the only thing you got to be worried about is like make sure you put them up. A buddy of mine said that there's a steroid that they sew into your ass.
Oh my god.
Is that's not a thing?
Ass mark.
Yeah.
Where it's like Mark's like, oh, sorry, what's up now?
David's I'll take it from here.
Yeah, so it's like these little. They put them underneath the skin, so it's like a slow release.
Oh, it's a pellet.
Yeah, it's like a pellet.
Yeah, I've heard my boy does it. It's a pellet, so it naturally releases like when it's time to go. But you gotta get a pellet put in like every few months.
I've never heard of this. I mean, it would make like even if you're injecting, the idea is like, even if you have a long-acting ester, the way to reduce side effects would be as many daily administrations, even if you have a long-acting ester, right? Because like if you shoot testosterone, let's say you're doing 1,000 milligrams. Let's just say,
If you just throw up right
hypothetically,
now.
like I don't know anybody.
He's all thinking if you're gonna the thing. He's just powering to it too. He's like, if you're in the health and you gotta make sure you're moving your body one time.
Your Wi-Fi.
Are you okay?
Why did that happen? I was like, Mike, all right?
In the middle of talking.
He's showing us that he a robot.
I was like, Mark,
He's like, you gotta get your heart and
the most terrifying thing for you to look me dead in the eyes and just almost throw up right after.
It's to work
I knew it was going. I said, he ain't hicking up right now.
like you're doing a set, like
Everybody glitches once in a while, all right?
tape delay.
Mark's like,
I was gonna say before I hiccup, burp, just screamed into the microphone.
yeah, it's like time release pellets. My boy does it.
It would make sense. It's just like, is that easier than just like fucking
Just doing a shot.
injecting an insulin syringe into your? I don't know. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a matter of you have to keep it going. You have
What's
to keep
funny is,
doing it.
people are always like, "Hey man,
Drink some water, bro. Drink some water.
Dude, I feel lightheaded. Like I want to throw up.
It's like you waiting for it. It's like a countdown to the next thing.
He's like the thing about it, and
He's so strong.
but he acts like we don't see it. He's like, you just gotta and
Oh my God.
He keeps trying to power through it like no one else is watching.
no, I do have these chronic hiccups. That fucking sometimes.
No, you're good, man.
There we go. We'll keep it off. people will be like, hey, I want to do steroids, but I don't want to do this, right? I don't want to inject. I don't want to, I just want to.
It's over.
It's over. It's over. I can't do it anymore. I can't. My face hurts.
He said, don't even try to bring that. Poor Mark.
Oh my God, I can't
Mark was
breathe.
he's like, so for a limited time.
Just explain the most intelligent shit.
But this is how I felt with when Joe Coy was on, and he kept making y'all. I can't breathe. Hold on.
Joe Coy.
Well, Joe Coy and who's the other car guy that was on recently? Adam Carolla.
Yeah.
He kept making you laugh so hard that your laughter was making me laugh.
Yeah.
You were losing it, and Brian, you guys couldn't keep the conversation on track.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what we're talking about. Steroids and throw up.
I'll just say this: it's like, is that what you have to do? Like put a pellet in your ass?
It felt kind of weird, and this guy, I think of him as a man's man. There's a lot of machismo there.
Do you realize there's a pellet in his
But he
ass?
told me that they had to basically cut open his ass cheek and sew into these.
Bro, just do shots.
Yeah,
What
just-
is some sort of
It's
pussy?
overly complicated. It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean,
it's
you're
like
overthinking
the
it.
yoga thing. It's like you gotta the Instagram thing you were talking about, where you just
Yeah, you're
keep it
overthinking
simple.
it.
People have been doing this effectively for fucking 60 years.
Yeah, look at Arnold.
Yeah,
Like he didn't
he
have
still
a
looks
pellet in
great.
his ass. But also, yeah, like people are really scared of
You almost did it.
hiccups.
Can't say steroids.
No. People are scared of injecting themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the needles.
Well, it's
the
a
whole-
little bit terrifying, right?
Is it?
I mean, I guess it can be.
No, I've never been scared of needles. Yeah, I've never been scared of needles.
Is that a public on-air admission?
I'm
Oh
talking
no,
openly
he's
about
pretty
it.
loud and proud about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, well, here's the thing. Ask me about it. Nobody ever asked me. It's like my political beliefs. It's like, well, nobody ever asked me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ask me, who'd you vote for? Talk about politics. Usually people don't fucking ask.
Yeah.
So
Well, listen, I can't thank you guys enough for coming on the show. Brendan, Mark, everybody, thank you so much for being here. Your whiskey drops in a couple of months.
June, man. End of June, I'd say.
Nationwide, worldwide distribution, so it should be out there. Do you know how many bottles is going to be hard to find or regularly available on the show?
Pretty regular available.
Yeah?
Restaurants everywhere.
Do you have a price point?
50.
50 bucks?
$49.99.
Somewhere in there? Wow.
Yep.
It's a
And then
great
we'll
price
do
point.
limited drops and stuff like that. A little more higher end, but the general public want to be $49.99.
So there's going to be line extensions.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yep.
Thank you guys for coming.
Yeah.
Give your
Love you
dates.
guys.
Absolutely.
We're in OKC, June 11th through 13th, Brickstown Comedy Club. And then Denver Comedy Works, downtown Denver. I think that's end of September. Mama, I'm coming home.
Oh yeah, no, I'm gonna be with Shapel, Lacey in Appleton, Wisconsin, and June 4th and the 5th. What you got coming up?
David Lucas.
What's up, man? Check out the Fat Pessimist on my YouTube and check my Instagram for dates. I'm bad with numbers.
hello, Mark Harley on Instagram.
Yeah.
You can catch him bothering you on your walking trails in the mountains.
I saw that video of that guy being chased by one. You guys
was
covered it on
Mark.
the podcast.
That was Mark.
Some of my best work.
That's how you got famous, bro.
Love it, man. Thanks for having us on,
Yeah,
dude.
dude, thanks so much,
See you
guys.
tonight. See you tonight.
See you tonight.
Balcones' first ever year-round bourbon was an inspiration. It all had to work together. A blend of carefully selected ingredients, Texas-sized pot stills, and creative people determined to find the absolute best way to usher a new whiskey along. When you discover how it pairs with a meaningful moment, suddenly the feeling of drinking great whiskey becomes a whole lot more.